two, one, and welcome back to Zombie SquadCAST. With me today is Mike Brandt. I've worked with Mike numerous times on numerous gigs, AV gigs, live streaming. Didn't really get into any of the concerts yet, but did you ever do any work at MGM Theater in National Harbor?
The MGM, yes. I've done some stuff there, not too much though.
Yeah, I guess we did do some concerts, but quite a bit of AV work, audio, lights, video, projectors, things of that nature. So that's how me and Mike have known each other maybe a couple years, 3 years now. I don't know how long you've been with AV leads, but I'm sure we've both been working. We've been on the roster with AV leads for a while. So Mike, why don't you go and introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself, what it is you do, all the different millions of different little side hustles you have, and everything.
Yeah, my name's Mike Brandt, and basically, man, like Clem was saying, met him in the AV world, and basically, I was doing AV work until now, just like all of us, and I trade forex, and I just got into selling cars wholesale, just paid for my license and all that, and I can't even get into the auctions right now. So yeah, I'm just kind of in a spot like a lot of people, man.
Yeah, so you froze up a little bit. You mentioned something about auctions.
Yeah. Attorney for a dealership out of town. So I paid that money out, was able to go into one auction by the time to go. I went the day before to go look over the cars and everything. And then by the time the auction was going to go the next day, then the governor put the order
Right.
and not having more than 10 people together and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
So that's on hold, but it's all good. Gotta wait it out, man.
No, I get it. Yeah, I guess that kind of leads us right into my next question is how right now how would you say you're impacted with the whole quarantine, the lockdown, shut in, health scare, that sort of thing.
Man, I'm just kind of staying away from people for the majority part. I've been with my son and we just been like fishing, different places off the Potomac, Port Tobacco River, Lake Frank, and just kind of staying away, man. And, that's what we've been doing.
Okay.
And just spending some time together, man, because that's, normally, how it is. We're on the go all the time. So it's a moment to kind of slow down. Obviously, we all got to slow down. So this is kind of where we're at.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, me being stuck in the house, and as you know, just had a kid a month ago, so the baby boy's a month old now. I'm definitely taking advantage of this time to get a lot of STEAM time, science, tech, engineering, arts, and math. Start developing his brain, developing his mind, getting him getting his senses and heightened, and doing like little jungle gyms and the crunchy books that have like simple languages, so a lot of
Yeah, that's
yeah, me and the wife had the opportunity to have a lot of hands-on time with him, left and right, nonstop. Showing him a lot of I know he's only a month old, but I've been showing him a lot of the Batman the animated series from 1992. I've been binge watching the whole show, and so I've been showing him a lot of Batman. And I agree. From what I understand, your son's 5, right?
no, my son's 8.
Your son's 8. Okay. Okay.
Yep, he's 8, man. And yeah, so what you're going through right now is a great time, man.
Yeah.
A great time. And so, thankfully, considering the circumstances, you're able, because normally this time of year, you're going to be running all around. You know how it is,
Mm-hmm.
and especially in the AV world. So now you're getting the time to enjoy, too. So definitely, man, take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we got to do right now, man.
So how would you say professionally, if you want to go more in depth, impacted by the whole shut-in?
As far as the AV, my schedule was completely wiped out now all the way until May.
Yeah, I think May. Yeah.
Yep. So I lost all my events. Then, I was trying to rebook different other companies. They were getting rebooked on them days and they were canceling. There were some days that I had on events where I rescheduled them 3 different times and they got canceled.
Hmm.
I mean, so it was like, but we knew, we we kind of seen it coming, man.
Yeah.
So we were able to get prepared. We kind of probably seen it before a lot of people, man, because in the event industry, we're a luxury industry,
Hmm.
and you know that's one of the first things that kind of go away, especially obviously in a time like this.
Hmm.
And
I mean,
so I'm hoping that we rebound pretty quick, but I don't know if that's gonna happen, man.
well, I don't know how quickly the shutdown is going to be lifted. I don't know how quickly the ban and the floodgate. I don't know how quickly the floodgates are going to be opened. But there's been a couple of AV guys that are pretty excited and not too worried because everything. A couple of guys mentioned everything that was canceled has to still get
Rebook.
maybe get done.
Possibly, I know
Maybe
that's
right. Right.
yeah.
Maybe it wasn't canceled. Maybe it was postponed. And so once everything's good, those people, I think those people have, first dibs on that hotel space, on that conference room space. Um,
It,
and
it's gonna
so,
be touchy, man.
yeah,
It's because depending, like how long it lasts, it's changing a lot of industries,
yeah,
not just ours. There's gonna be some of the companies that aren't even gonna be there anymore, and
yeah, that's
it's
possible. Yeah,
yeah, and so it's definitely gonna reshape it, man. So I'm hoping it rebounds quick, but I don't know, man.
yeah. But I mean, I mean, I definitely have hope and faith that most of these gigs are postponed, not canceled. They'll get picked up later, and then it's just going to be everybody has to piggyback on that. And you're familiar as well as I am, as well as a lot of AV and freelancers are familiar with the downtime. There's always, I'd say it's August, it's kind of dead, and then picks back up in September. And then around Thanksgiving, it starts to die out and it picks back up after New Year's. So there's that 1 month off in the summer, and there's that 2.5, maybe 2 months off in the winter.
Right.
But all that stuff's going to have to piggyback. All that stuff's going to be every day, backed upon, backed up upon, backed up upon. And I don't think we're going to really have a dead season for the next 2 years because all these gigs, let's say 50% of the gigs that got bumped because of the shutdown, 50% of those are postponed. That's still a lot of extra work. But for us as freelancers to catch up on what we lost, we have to work extra. But I mean, maybe there might be some sort of incentive. Maybe day rates are going to go up. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot different, man. I'm just,
Yeah,
hoping it doesn't drag on too long.
yeah.
Obviously, the longer it drags on, the longer it's gonna take for our industry to rebound because we're not gonna just snap right back.
I mean, yeah, I don't think we're going to snap right back, but I think
Yeah,
I do think society and work and our infrastructure will be different without a doubt. I mean, things drastically changed during the Spanish flu.
yeah,
Things drastically changed during the Depression, and so this is another big wake up call. Maybe the whole world, if not the country, if not a number of countries with their complacent infrastructures, are now like, holy shit.
yeah. Everything's been
Should
breached.
everything's been breached, everything's been done, everything's like fucked up. So we have
Yeah,
to switch it to make things a little bit more flexible. Like, yeah, our sanitary. I mean, well, again, this thing came from outside the U.S. I mean, there's a lot of people freaking out about travel and people able to get in and out of countries. And then there was a lot of people that wanted to be a little bit more liberal with that. And now I'm not siding with anybody on politics here, but this is definitely
Yeah.
a wake up call about like at least the security of travel and maybe checking people's temperatures as they come in.
Exactly, and that's where I think in our industry, man, is where we're gonna run into the problem because we have not just people from all over the world that come to these events,
Mm-hmm.
but definitely all around the country. And I know that they're collecting data and everything right now to, as far as cell phones is one of the ways they try to see if people are listening to certain laws and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what they do. And I think that our area is gonna be one of the places eventually. Obviously, it has to peak, but as far as the DMV, it's gonna get contained.
Sure.
All right, but that doesn't mean that we still. It doesn't mean like say over in or up in New York, it's still going crazy like that. So we're gonna have travel bans, I think, in between the states.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, which for events that's gonna mess up stuff too. So we'll
Yeah.
see how everything plays out, man.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've been blessed in the last 10 years, where things, I wouldn't say I've just been lucky and just things fell in my lap. And I definitely, had to like, put my 2 cents in. I had to always put some sort of effort in and things just weren't handed to me. But I
Yeah,
think I've been blessed to where things always worked out in such a way that if I did put some effort, things worked out. Uh, there's been a number of times the wife is freaking out. She's like, "Where's the money coming from?" It's the downstairs. If it's like November to back in the day when it was November 15th to January 15th, that's 2 straight months of no work. She's like, "Are you okay with money? Are you going to get gigs? When's the next gig? When's the next gig?" And it's nothing for 2 straight months. And I'm like, "Babe, relax. This is what I'm used to." She's a third grade teacher, so
okay,
she's used to 3 weeks off in the winter and like
yeah,
and then like the whole summer off if she's a third grade teacher. So,
exactly,
so I'm like, this is kind of like what you have, but I have it in the winter. It's a
yeah,
downtime. It's a down season. It's like your summer. It's my winter.
exactly, and
And so she's freaking out. I'm home all the time. She's like, go drive Uber. And I'm like, okay, I'll go drive Uber. And I would do that a little bit here and there. I would go drive Lyft. But she's like, when's the next gig? And the second January 15 comes around, babe, you're working too much. Where are you? Because all of a sudden, all these gigs popped right back in. A lot of acting gigs,
uh-huh.
film and TV gigs, commercials, the AV gigs, the live streaming gigs.
Yeah, weren't you about to go to Canada or
Yeah, man.
something like that too?
I had a 6-day live streaming gig in Montreal with another
Yeah,
roster.
uh-huh.
And I think it was like March 5th. The wife was like, that's just getting canceled. And I'm like, yeah, it probably will be because I guess that's it. I think technically that's international travel, flying to, if you need a passport, I think that's international travel.
Yeah, you're
And,
going.
and you need a passport to Canada. And that was going to be
We
Montreal, Canada.
need your
Yeah.
passport. Yep.
If you need your passport to fly, I think that is technically international travel. So she was like, that's definitely getting canceled. And, I think a week after she said something, it was canceled. Or
Yeah,
not even a week.
exactly. Yep.
So don't let the Dallas Cowboys coffee mug fool you. It's the only clean one. The
That's the
wife
only clean one.
the wife's a Dallas fan. I am not.
Oh, okay, okay.
I am a
It's all
Skins
good,
fan.
man.
I am a Skins fan. I know how hardcore of a Skins fan you are. Rest assured, I'm a Skins fan. It's just
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. I've been paying attention to what they've been doing too. So they've been doing some good stuff, man. So I'm hoping the culture is going to change there
yeah,
because it's been hard being a Redskins fan. I swear it's been hard.
yeah, yeah,
God, what?
yeah.
So
So yeah, that's great. So you would you say that you're positively impacted by this? You're getting closer to your son. You do like you mentioned, you've been going fishing and hanging out a lot.
Yes, there's certain ways I've been, definitely very positively affected about like with all the situation and everything. This was a year that I was planning on really, going in with a lot of stuff and everything was starting out very good. So, but it's start out, I guess, what, stomping on the gas, and then you got to stomp on the brakes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all good, and I'm just, kind of taking advantage of the time while it's here. I know everything's gonna come back. It's just a matter of time and just being flexible, man. And you know,
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay. So the beauty, well, not the beauty. I mean, let me rephrase. The upside of this being 2020, modern technology. Say this happened in the 80s. I mean,
mm,
God knows what people did to keep their mind off things during the Spanish flu in the 1910s or the Depression in the 1930s, because
right.
they didn't have live streaming, they didn't have cell phones, they didn't have video games, and we're very spoiled. We're very high tech now. We're very modern, but I'd say in a way we're very spoiled. But uh, luckily, this generation has Netflix, Hulu, 40 other streaming packages, I, iPhones, laptops, computers, iMacs, PS4s, and Xboxes, plenty of video game systems and smart boxes and smartphones, things of that nature. Um, what would you say is you're doing, maybe with your son, maybe by yourself, keeping yourself occupied? Video games, a book you're reading, films, binge watching a show on one of the streaming packages. Uh, what are one or two things that come to mind that have been?
Okay, yes, we've
Yeah.
been definitely doing the Xbox Game Pass.
Okay.
Oh, we've been doing that with multiple different games, Netflix, just trying to like, watch movies and everything. And we were doing a good bit of fishing, but now it's a little bit different now, so that's a little bit cut out. But yes, it's definitely Netflix, games, and we've been trying to cook out a good bit, so get
Okay.
out the house a little bit. And he starts, school back on the laptop tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Laptop school.
yep,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right. That's how it's going down.
If
So
he so he's 8, so he's in third grade then.
he's in second grade.
Yeah. So he's in second. So yeah, like I said, the wife is the wife is a third grade teacher, and
Okay.
and yeah, she took off maternity leave. So technically, she's still on maternity leave, even though everybody else is on this uh, teach from home. Schools or kids are learning from home, things of that nature, and um, she's so happy because she's seeing so many emails from older teachers. They don't know how the hell to use this equipment.
I know, right? I
but
bet.
she's seeing, but then she showed me the schedule and I said, I think school is like 3 hours a day now. Maybe 4 hours a day.
So all right, so she is going to be teaching the students from the house.
So she's on maternity leave now.
Okay, so
And
when does she come back though?
but I think her maternity leave puts her out to the summer. So then she's out all summer. Then she's
Oh,
off.
okay,
Then
then,
she's off
then,
all summer.
okay.
So depending on how long this quarantine lasts,
Yeah.
she could she might have to do the online teaching maybe, but hopefully it's kind of like,
Hopefully,
yeah,
hopefully it's done by then, right?
yeah,
I mean, I really hope it is,
yeah,
Yep, so definitely, man.
yeah. So she's like, I don't, she claims she's not even that good with a laptop, and I'm like, I could help you figure it out
She's
if we're
got
still
you.
if we're still on quarantine.
Uh-huh.
But if not, I got to get my ass back to work double time and like start double gigging it a day.
Yeah,
It's
stacking them up.
it's got to yeah it's gonna have to be some crazy heavy catch up.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I mentioned before I've been binge watching Batman for the animated series from '92, and I've been putting the kid in front of that, trying to like get that steam growing from an earlier start.
There you
And
go.
man, there's so many movies that just came out. I've been I just watched another old classic 80s movie called Clue. Did you ever see the movie Clue based on the board game, but it was a comedy from the 80s?
Man, I think I did see it a long time
Yeah,
ago,
yeah,
man.
yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah,
Um,
me and the wife watched that because she was always a fan of the game. So me and the wife watched this movie called Clue. It's from like 1985. Um, so many different people in this movie. Tim Curry, uh, Christopher Lloyd, but yeah. So just trying to stay, keep your mind active. Trying as far as I go with the wife and kid, I'm not trying to get like the whole Shining, the whole cabin fever, the whole psychosis growing too much.
I
So
bet, right? I know it's like
yeah. So the neighbors are still out, taking walks. So I still go jog around the block. I'll do a jog. I'll lift weights down in the basement.
it's good for your mind, man.
Yeah. Uh, watching some tutorial stuff on YouTube while I work out. So it's kind of like trying to educate my brain and work out my body.
Hmm.
Um, and then I forgot what the last thing was. Oh, trying to put together a schedule. Like, sometimes we have a basic schedule with the kid. I stay up with the kid. I might work on some projects. Now that we're quarantined, I'm knocking out a lot of passion projects.
Exactly. There you go. There you
So
go.
so I'll stay up late and be working in the studio
Hmm.
while the kid's sleeping, but the kid always wakes up like every 2 hours and 25 minutes on the dot
On the dot,
for
right?
for a
On the dot.
for a shit, for a diaper change, for a feeding.
Yes. Yep.
So I'm up late while she's sleeping, in the bed, and then we'll do a switch at about 5 a.m. and I'll sleep until about 11 or 12, and she's up in the morning early, and then she's doing the same thing with the kid. She might keep the kid, in the bassinet for another block of time, 2 hours and 25 minutes, and then she'll get up at 8. Maybe she'll get a few extra hours sleep, however it works. This morning the kid got her up at like 3:45 a.m. She's been up ever since, and so I feel bad,
Yeah.
for today. But like, um are you taking advantage of this downtime, say, as like, what, if you can, what little examples of, say, things that were on the back burner that you're finally like knocking out left and right, like things like you kept putting off?
Well, I have a platform that I'm putting together, man, for Forex and everything. So I'm able to put a good bit of time on getting that all the way done because
Mm-hmm.
originally I wasn't going to release that till July 4th. But considering them circumstances, I'm pushing it up. So I've been working on that, and I've been up since you were just talking about 3 o'clock too this morning. I've been up since 3, and I've been training people in forex and everything like that, man, and then trading and all that. So I've been, putting my time, also to that, and that's, it takes up a good bit of time too. But once everything's right and it's good, man. So
Yeah.
but it's a process. Just
Yeah.
like everything else, man. A lot of the stuff. Like, how's the projects going with you, man? That you're getting together? They're coming along real good. How's it going?
Yeah, I mean, with the kid, I'll a lot of the time, what seems to happen is, we have a schedule with a kid, but you can't schedule everything with a kid,
I know,
especially
especially yeah,
a newborn, especially a one
exactly.
month old, especially a 1 week old, and 1 month old, even a 1 year old.
Right.
But we pretty much have planned, that I'll stay up at night, and then sleep in. She'll go to bed early, uninterrupted sleep, and then she'll get up early, and that's that one schedule. And then we just know that there's bottle feedings every anywhere between 2 and 3 hours, but there's always that one time when he just goes off and he's having a cranky pants day, and it's like you got to settle this kid down for an extra 15-20 minutes. That's 15-20 minutes taken away from me editing the supervillain crime shows that I showed you.
Yeah, I remember you showing me those. Yeah.
So I just finished season 2 of Rogues Gallery, and I'm I'd say 1/3 done editing season 2 of Sinister Infinite, the Marvel Universe version. Once I get those out, then I have a short film that I need to edit. It's maybe a 15-minute, comedy horror comedy short film that I produced 2 years ago.
Okay.
Because with the AV stuff, it's just like you got to take
You've been having
everything.
to push it off, and now
You got to
you.
take everything you can get. The
Yeah.
money's too good, but it's time consuming.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of other production. I mean, this was a small passion project, but finally I've got an opportunity to sit down, edit, really master it, really polish it. And then there's another documentary. I interviewed a friend of mine's father who defected from Soviet Estonia. It was the Soviet Union, the whole mass Soviet Union, but he's from Estonia, which was part of the Soviet Union, and
Okay.
he defected in 1980 or 1982 or some such year. I can't remember now because I shot it so long ago, but it's in this documentary. I got all the footage. Start cutting that together, and by the time I'm done with this stuff and I start putting all this stuff out, hopefully the floodgates open. Hopefully we'll
Good.
get back to making money. But then people will see, like, holy shit, this guy came out with all this other stuff. Hopefully that will better the gigs. Maybe get a little bit more high profile, high paying, high profile, high uh, gigs that are more uh, up my alley, I guess.
There you go. Good,
For
man.
lack of a better phrase, but yeah. Acting gigs out the fucking window. I mean, there's been a couple of acting gigs where they want it shot at your home studio, so I would send them a self-submit video of me
Okay.
reading their script. So we'll see how that comes out because I heard back from one. We'll see if anything comes of that, and just keep plugging away here in the basement. I mean, as as we all know, we're trapped in the house for God knows how long.
Exactly, man. Exactly. But that's good, man. You're knocking your stuff out, and that's what we got to do at this time, man.
Yeah.
It's perfect time for it, and that's what it is, man.
Yeah. So you said Xbox, what'd you call it?
The Xbox One.
Xbox Game
Oh,
Pass.
the Game Pass.
Any movie or any show or any book that you might have binged watched or watched?
The movie we just watched is it was The Hunt.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know. Have you seen that?
Nope, I haven't seen it. So we have it on demand because it's funny you mention that because all the movies in the theater have been
Oh,
dumped are
oh,
dumped to on demand right away
there
because
you go, yo.
depending where you're at, you might not be allowed to even go to the theater. So
Yeah.
what'd you think of The Hunt?
It was all right, man. It was decent. That was good. I watched a lot of like documentary stuff,
Mm-hmm.
man. It's more of like what I watch, but my son, he loves the animated movies, so
Mm-hmm.
and we go to the movies a good bit, or we were going to the movies a good bit. And so now, we're just like you were just talking about how they release the movies quicker now, right on. So I think we got that one on Amazon Prime or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yep.
Very cool.
Oh, he's into this game like Roblox.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
likes to play Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
So we play a little bit of that, and it's mainly more of like, the high speed part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And, so it's not really the best game for him to play, but he does play that one, so yeah. But
Okay.
definitely been playing a lot of games, Madden. I don't know if Madden 2020. I don't know if you play that. No.
I'm familiar. Well, I'm familiar with Madden, but
Yeah, you don't play it.
I could never ever get into. Well, I couldn't really get into sports games. But it's baffling. It's amazing to me that every year a new Madden game comes out and people buy it. But I know people that have Madden 2020. They have every single Madden ever made.
See, that is the only game that I actually do buy every year for myself. For myself.
Holy shit.
That's the only game because that's really, if it wasn't for my son playing like the games that he plays, it
Uh-huh.
would be like me. I would just play Madden. That's
So
all that I play on there, and I'll play it online. And
so
then
but can't you play Madden 2K14 right now and not enjoy it?
I'm not playing that.
It's the same game.
No,
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 no, it's not the
no.
same game.
I'm not playing that. No way.
What do you mean? So, okay.
As
All
soon
right.
as the new one comes out, I don't play the old one anymore. I don't.
But would it be possible to play would it be possible to play the old one and still get the same kick out of it?
Nope, because I play online. There's not even going to be anybody really playing on it in the old ones.
Okay, so you raised a good question. So with that, when you buy Madden, is it not just digital and always upgraded online, or do you actually still have to buy the disc?
You buy the disc. You can
Yeah.
buy the disc, or you can buy like the code off and download it to your hard drive,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
straight from like something like Game Pass or something,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
and then you can just do it like that.
So if you were to download the digital one on Game Pass, would that not just upgrade? So say you got the Game Pass version in 2019. Would it not just upgrade to 2020, or do you have to buy an upgrade?
You're gonna have to upgrade it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you know the marketing game.
I mean that. Yeah, I do know that because like I'm a big Far Cry fan, and so
Okay.
I do have all the Far Cries. Each
Yeah.
each story is different, but the reason why it's all called Far Cry is because it's basically made by the same makers, and so they kind of just run with the same title. But Far Cry 5 has like a sub game that you have to like. It's additional download. It's additional downloadable content,
Okay.
DLC. It's additional DLC for this whole second sub game, which is just as big as the original Far Cry 5. But I don't know, man. Like, just buying every single Madden, it's like it's the same game. I don't,
Yeah,
I don't
it
know. I don't
is,
know.
and
Maybe,
it's really, and you're right though, and it's really only changes a little bit, but they'll do slick stuff too, like they'll hold like the roster. All
yeah,
right, so you got your old roster, and that's like different things that they'll do. So you gotta really upgrade it, But as
yeah.
far as it really changing, as far as the game and how it's played and all that, pretty much the same,
Okay, yeah,
So it's just the graphics and stuff get a little better, the
right.
players change, but you're right about that. So.
No, man. I mean, but at the end of the day, if that's something you're into, man, like do it. I know somebody. Do you remember the Street Fighter 2 games?
No,
The
no,
the the
no. I do remember them. I do remember
the,
them.
the
Yeah,
fighting
yeah,
games.
yep, exactly.
Maybe you didn't play them, but there was Street Fighter 2, then there was Street Fighter 2 Alpha, then there was Street
Yeah,
Fighter 2
yeah,
Alpha Ultimate, then there was Street Fighter 2
yeah. There
Alpha
was
Blue.
movies made too about it.
I know someone that bought every single version of Street Fighter 2
Yeah,
because Street Fighter 2 came out, he bought that. Then Street Fighter 2 Alpha came out, he bought that. And there was just like and they kept re-releasing these upgraded versions of the game, but it's the same freaking game.
yep,
And
yep.
he
And they do
kept
that with
yeah.
they do that with a lot of them, man.
Yeah, they do.
That's Yeah, we just
They
and
do.
that's what you made me think of when you said what the Street Fighter is, because me and my son were playing Mortal Kombat. And so
Hmm.
that's an older game, but they redid it, and just like the Resident Evils.
Yeah, I mean, agreed. Now with Resident Evil, the story, it's not a fighting game. It's like an action shooting
Yeah, the it's
horror
story
suspense game.
change and stuff, but some of them I'm pretty sure they remade of the older game a while ago and then just remade it.
They did do that. So they did do like a HD PS4 release of Resident Evil 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
things of that nature. And
Yep.
that I get, because I think Resident Evil is like 20 years old or
I
25.
think it is too.
I think Resident
That's
Evil
somewhere
1
around
is
that.
25 years old, because if
Dang.
because
Yeah.
the first Resident Evil came out on the original PS1, the original PSX, and so if the PSX came out in like 95 or 96, then that thing is freaking all right. So yeah, 96. So Resident Evil came out in 96. So that's 24 years old.
24.
Mm-hmm.
Time flies.
Yep. Yep. Resident Evil. Here, I can limit, that's the beauty of our platform here.
Oh yeah, the live screen sharing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know, yo. Exactly.
So let me see here. Wikipedia. Wikipedia is the best. So let me see here. So right here, you'll see Resident Evil 96, Resident Evil 2 98, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis 99. So that, my friend, is a 24-year-old video game. Not to mention,
I remember when I was a kid, this game scared me a little bit for real.
yeah, oh yeah, Resident Evil was hard to play.
Yeah, it
And
definitely make you jump.
yeah, Super Mario Brothers, the original, 1985. That's a 35-year-old video game.
So that's like the regular Nintendo days.
That was the NES, 35 years old. So yeah, so that I would understand if Nintendo wanted to like take the programming of Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, 3 and HD it or 4K it for the Switch now, and like a really like I think they even did maybe, but they really want to like put some high octane in it for Switch users now, because kids might be like, oh, this is too old or cheesy. A lot of kids do actually appreciate the retro, but that's what PlayStation 4 did, or PlayStation 5 now, is yeah, they beefed up the original Resident Evil trilogy with 4K effects, remapped it, re-energized it, changed up a few things with the story or with the gameplay, but I get it. I mean,
Yeah,
if Madden 2020 is, if it's fun, if it's funner than 2K19, hey, have fun, man.
just gotta do it, man. Just gotta do it. But no, yeah, I got up to in 2019, and I wouldn't play it a whole lot. I put up in the rankings like the top 6%. So
Online?
I yeah, online.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So but then I'll sit there, I'll push up, and then we start getting busy because you'll be able to push up on load times. I work from home, I trade, and stuff like that. But then you have to away from it for a little bit. And then I'll get the new one, and then they'll beat on me for a little bit, and I got to get the hang back of it, and then
Mm-hmm.
and then I stop again, and then it's whatever. But that's just how it goes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Very
Yep.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep.
Well,
So
I guess we come to the final chapter of our podcast here, where what is your next agenda, your next goal or batch of goals, your next next phase of plans say for the next month or so during the quarantine?
All right, so the next month I'm going to be just fully concentrating on the Forex platform I was just telling you about. Obviously, my son's with me full time, so he's going to be doing his schooling and stuff like that. Going to be trading, and I gotta more adjust to when things change. I can't really go too much in the future right now,
Mm-hmm.
because of how everything is, and I don't even see it getting better. Like, say within a month or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to just kind of just wait this out, and then, once we see this peak, then I could readjust because then you have some more time frames about, you know, what's going to happen for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, just kind of just being flexible right now and just kind of just focusing on what I have to do and what I can do, and during the circumstances right now, you can only do so much. So I'm grateful and blessed, man. And so I'm just riding it out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I agree. You got to be flexible. You got to be flexible with the limitations that you have. Obviously, government's mandated. You ain't leaving your house. The government's mandated. Only this, that, and the other is essential
Exactly.
for you to leave your house. But within that, you got to be flexible. You got an 8-year-old. I got a 1-month-old. It's like you got to be flexible. Oh, I'm shooting a podcast. Let me go run upstairs real quick. I gotta like shake them. I gotta burp them. I gotta ease them back to sleep. Run back downstairs. I gotta keep editing, keep writing, whatever. Jump back on the trading platform and things of that nature. Training people. It's yeah, man. You got to be flexible. I've always thought flexibility because I've had a few guests on here before, and we were talking a lot about what it is we do, if it's art, if it's a project, and even if it's trading. There's only so much training, there's only so much prep, there's only so much strategizing and studying of other trends that you can do until you have to decide, all right, I just got to pull the trigger. If I'm going to make a movie, you write a script, and then you break down the scenes, and then
Exactly.
for each scene you make a shot list,
Yep.
and then you see how much money you have to make it, and it's like, okay, well, I only have this much money, got to cut out all these different shots from all these different scenes. Okay, got to make it. I can't just like, okay, now this film is pre-produced, it's ready to be made, put it on the shelf for 15 years. It's not. You
Yeah.
have to eventually, at one point or another, pull the fucking trigger.
And get it done.
When it comes to trading, it's like, what do I trade in? Oh, well, you've studied enough, you've prepped enough, you've got all your apps, you've got your office at the house, you're working with other traders, you're training them or they're training you, you're mentoring them, they're mentoring you. Now it's time to start trading. You got to pull the trigger.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've been trading for years, but
And
as
I,
far as
of
as
course, yeah.
far as like the platform, I
Mm-hmm.
should have done this and released it before,
Mm-hmm.
instead of kind of procrastinated on pushing this out, but now, since everything's going on the way that it's going on now, I can put a good bit of time towards doing it and everything like that.
Hell yeah.
So, but yeah, basically, like as far as you're talking about, like it's the trends and stuff. When it comes to trading, I like to catch people on the trend and break the trend and the traps, man.
Thank you.
That's where it's at. That's where it's at in trading, is the
Thank you.
traps.
Thank you.
So that's what it is, man.
I'm so glad you said that because yeah, back to artists, back to musicians, back to filmmakers, back to YouTubers. The Like I said, the biggest headbutting that I have with a lot of types is that they think there needs to be this strategy and this a strategy to a brand. And you follow the trends, you follow the analytics, you follow the algorithms, you follow the hashtags and
Yeah.
the keywords. And it's like, dude, don't study trends. Be the trend.
Yes.
Be the
Yep.
trendsetter.
Exactly.
9 out of 10 times, the reason why people are successful is because they do what they want to do.
Exactly.
You have a YouTuber on there that live streams him mixing EDM live. He'll do like a 2-hour set of EDM, like a 2-hour EDM set. Instead of going to Coachella or instead of going to Ibiza, he's on Twitch.
Okay.
He was a trendsetter. Lo and behold, here we are all quarantined. The first fucking guy they're going to go to check out music is have a home studio Coachella from the dude that was doing it years prior from the quarantine. He was the trendsetter.
Yeah.
Now everyone's like, oh, you know what we should do? We should do everything from the mobile studio. He's been doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Be the trendsetter. Stop. I know a couple of musicians. They're like, the hot sound right now in music is this, that, and the other thing. Dude, fuck that.
Right.
Play the music. Produce the music you want to make. I do.
Exactly, man.
I love superhero movies. I love comic book movies, Marvel and DC movies.
Okay.
And I found a hack to make a bunch of superhero content. It's a really low budget, cheap version of those crime ID those ID shows, those crime shows on ID, those crime reenactment
Exactly.
shows, but do the superhero stories in that way. Really cheap, really independently done.
I've seen them though. They're all right, man.
Thank you.
I've seen them.
And,
Definitely. Definitely.
and that's why I'm doing something different. No one else is. I don't care what other people are doing on YouTube. I don't care what other people are doing on TikTok or Instagram. I don't care. I don't even care what DC and Marvel are doing right now. I'm going to do their sort of thing in a slick way that like just popped off in my head. Let me jump on this and be a different trend.
Exactly, with your creativity touch on there.
Mm-hmm.
Your creative mind too. So you're kind of switching it up and throwing your own touch on it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where it becomes you and your passion. And follow that. That's what life's about, man, is really following your passion. And I can tell you definitely have a passion for that. So, follow your
Yeah.
passion.
Like I can and with you, I can tell you have a passion for trading, for hustling.
Exactly,
I remember, even before this podcast, you told me about the car thing and like the auction thing. And I'm like, dude, this guy's a hustler.
Yeah.
This guy kind of likes, he knows where the money's at, but he likes to, he likes to chase after it. It's not that he's chasing after a couple of hundred. He's trying to chase after a couple of 10K or a couple of 100K.
He's got to mix it around, man.
But I can tell you like that chase. You like that adventure. And I mean,
I do.
And so, and that's the big, there are people that love to cook.
Yeah, exactly.
I love to just be in the kitchen, cook food. And when I get a compliment, that's like,
There you go. There you go.
And me, I love to make film. And I finally was able to, move in with my wife now on money in the last 5 years, broke into a small little industry here in the DMV, acting. Like I'm on, last winter, I was the Eastern regional spokesperson for Toyota for the Northeastern region.
Awesome.
For like this big winter sale they had.
Okay.
I was in a major plumbing commercial. The wife still gets texts. I just saw the commercial again. And it's like these little nuggets. I got paid pretty well for that.
Okay.
And then I would go do an AV gig and get paid pretty well for that no one ever saw. But like that extra icing on the cake is like, did I just see you in a fucking commercial? Did I just see you in this crime show did I just see you in this movie? And it's like, yeah, that's like that little extra icing on the cake. And but I stuck with doing something that I loved to do because, that is quality of life to me, in my opinion. is more rewarding than making, 250K, hating fucking life, working 85 to 90 hours a week on Capitol Hill or in a law office, and you
Yeah.
fucking hate it.
Yeah, you gotta love what you do, or it's gonna eat you up throughout your life.
Oh yeah.
No matter how much money you're making,
Hmm.
it doesn't matter. You
Hmm.
gotta really, love what you do.
Yeah.
And it's even with like the AV stuff. I love doing it because I like seeing, from what we take it to what it becomes. And the
Yeah.
people, their their body languages, their expressions, all that stuff when they come in and see the stuff that we do. There's a good feeling in that,
Yeah.
so it's definitely something that I enjoy too. And so we're gonna see what happens with everything though, man. And you know,
Yeah.
it's all we can do.
Yeah. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. So, we're just about at that time. Anything you want to close out with? Any plugs you want to put out there? Any socials? Any media of yours? Links? Anything like that?
No, pretty much, man. I just got my Instagram right now. I do not have a Facebook active currently. So my Instagram is capital FX, and that's pretty much it right now as far as my social media accounts.
Okay. All right.
So,
Socials below, in the links below. This was Mike Brandt, one of my close AV buddies. Been working with him for years. So thanks for joining us on Zombie SquadCAST. Like, share, subscribe, comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, ring the bell for notifications, and check us out next time.
all right, man. Appreciate you.